Unified. Accurate, balanced, and without bias. Told from a human angle perspective. Interview the actors and the experts. All facts laid bare. From Nigeria to the rest of the globe, we deliver the news on time and in time. This is News Express on Adaminogo 93.1 FM. Lekki, Lagos.
A News Express this evening. Akbabi hails Nigerian women on International Women's Day as UN laments continued gender inequality. Inspector General of Police DC appoints DCP Anthony Placid, new police PRO, replaces Hussein. Iran insists on electing supreme leader and not Trump. Good evening and welcome to News Express on our Dami Wogo 93.1 FM, a blend of national, local, political, international sports and entertainment news. I am Ogi Mark, and now the news in detail. As Nigerian women commemorate the International Women's Day, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, congratulated them, praising them for the sacrifices they make for families and for building society. In a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Eseme Eyibo, the President of the Senate reiterated commitment towards pushing for stronger investment in women across all spheres of life, especially in economic, political participation. Meanwhile, a transformation life coach and media trainer Nkechi Macaulay stated that more government policies that uphold the rights of women needs to be implemented.
Made great progress in enhancing women's involvement economically, politically, financially, in different spheres of endeavor. We have made quite huge progress so far. What we lack right now is the system of governance hasn't fully come to take responsibility in ensuring that women's rights are fully accorded to them. Our laws, that if we have a governing council or a system that appreciates women, things can be better. We have made great.
While encouraging women to prioritize self-happiness, Macaulay opined that adequate education of both men and women about issues concerning women can advance the cause of gender balance.
Women's life to be improved. How much have we done to educate the men about women's rights, about women's empowerment, about women's development, women's health? I've consistently quarreled that when we exclude men from women's conversation, we tend to hurt ourselves further. Let me start by saying this right now. When it comes to health issues, maternal health, how many men understand maternal health? Women say, I want to give birth to a child, and I was told I would go to CS. And my husband says no. He's not saying no because he wants to be mean. He has been told that CS is wrong. CS will kill his wife. And as a woman, you must give birth to a state. And it's because of his ignorance. How many men understand family planning? How many men understand child care, maternal care, menstrual hygiene, menstrual health? How many men do understand this stuff? So we must equip men with knowledge about women's mental health to be able to.
International Women's Day, with the theme Gift Again, observed on March 8th, commemorates women's struggle for equality and the liberation, as well as the women's rights movement. In the FCT, the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, has approved the appointment of Deputy Commissioner of Police, Anthony Placid, as the new Force Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force. Placid replaces the outgoing Force Public Relations Officer, Benjamin Hussein. Hussein, in a statement signed in Abuja, said Placid is a seasoned police officer with extensive experience in administration operations, intelligence training, and international peacekeeping. Meanwhile, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested a former two-term councillor in Lagos State, Sheleru Olalekun, over his alleged involvement in illicit drug trafficking. The politician, who previously served 2 terms representing the Urimedu community and is currently employed as a legislative aide, was apprehended at his residence in Ilado Ibeju, Lekki. NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, in a statement said 40 kilograms of skunk, a potent strain of cannabis, was recovered, hidden inside one of the rooms. Shaleru admitted ownership of the exhibit and the property where it was recovered. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Diaspora Commission has condemned the arrest of 42 Nigerians at a spare parts market in Mozambique and called for the immediate release. Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NIDCOM, Abikedabe Erewa, described the development as disturbing, especially as no offense had been leveled against the affected Nigerians. In a statement issued in Abuja, Dabere said if the affected persons had violated any law, the authorities should charge them before a court. The NIDCOM boss said the reported selective arrests of Nigerians depict xenophobic attacks on Nigerian citizens. At home, 1 person died and 6 others were injured in an auto accident early this morning at the Castle bus stop along the Oroshokia-Papa Expressway in Lagos. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority spokesperson, Adebayo Taufik, disclosed this, noting that a deceased and an unidentified woman was crushed by a truck after being flung onto the road by a commercial bus involved in an earlier collision. Lasma operators promptly activated emergency traffic management protocols, temporarily condoning off the expressway to allow safe evacuation of the victims and the wreckage. And now the Oyo State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has appealed to security agencies to investigate yesterday's attack on the residence of former Deputy Governor in the state, Alhaji Hazim Bolarumi, and other chieftains of People's Democratic Party. APC made the appeal in a statement signed by its publicity secretary, Wasiu Olawale, urging the security agencies to arrest the culprits and their sponsors. No fewer than 25 members of PDP were injured during the local government congresses of the faction of the party loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. And still talking security, armed bandits disguised in women's hijab reportedly attacked Malamawa Yari village in Gawakuke ward of Raba local government area in Sokoto State last night, leaving several residents dead and others abducted. Security analyst Bakatisen, in a post on X, said the assault was carried out while they were dressed in women's hijabs, which allegedly helped them move around without raising suspicion. He said during the attack, several residents were killed while many others were abducted and taken to an unknown destinations. Authorities are yet to issue an official statement on the incident at the time of filing this report. On the foreign scene, the United Nations warned that at the current pace of progress could take hundreds of years before women and girls enjoy the same rights and protection as men. The declaration was made in a post on X to mark International Women's Day 2026, underscoring what the organization described as an urgent and widening justice gap facing women and girls across the globe. The warning is backed by a UN report titled Ensuring and Strengthening Access to Justice for All Women and Girls, which found that women currently hold just 64% of the legal rights that men enjoy globally. The report concludes that despite decades of advocacy and incremental progress, women and girls remain unequal to men under the law in every nation on earth. According to the report, nearly 3 in 4 nations still legally permit girls to be forced into marriage, cutting short their childhoods, education, and future prospects. Additionally, 44% of countries have no laws guaranteeing equal pay for work of equal value. In a separate development, Iran's foreign minister says the Iranian people, not Donald Trump, will elect the new leader and demanded that the U.S. president apologizes for starting the war with Iran. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said the assembly of experts will convene and vote for the new supreme leader and the one who is elected by them. He also defended attacks that have hit Gulf neighbors during the war, saying those strikes were aimed at U.S. bases in the region as Iranian missiles were unable to reach the United States. Trump asserted days ago that he should have a role in picking Iran's next supreme leader after Ali Khamenei died in the opening salvos of the U.S.-Israeli attack that began 9 days ago. He also rejected the possibility of Khamenei's son, Mujtaba Khamenei, replacing his father. As we conclude News Express on Adami Mogo FM Nigeria this evening, here is a recap of the biggest stories. We told you the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, congratulated Nigerian women on International Women's Day, praising them for their sacrifices they make for families and for building society. It was also in the news the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, approved the appointment of Deputy Commissioner of Police Anthony Placid as the new Force Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Police Force. It was also in the news around Foreign Minister says the Iranian people, not Donald Trump, will elect the new leader and demanded that the U.S. president apologizes for starting the war with Iran. And that's News Express. On behalf of the production team, I am Ogi Mark. Good evening.
Yesterday